Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jay Solano. I'm actually the CEO of Rocket Income Tax. And I wanted to make a quick video to show you guys what it is that you need to bring to your tax preparer when he's ready to file your taxes. This is going to be a quick video. It's just going to be about the things that you need to be able to file when someone is doing it for you, right? Because when you file online and you do it yourself, that's a little bit different. All the responsibility falls on you, but the responsibility will fall on the tax preparer that prepares the taxes for you if they did it incorrectly, right? If everything was submitted. So just to jump in real quick, the first thing is that they're going to need your driver's license or state ID or passport. That's so they can identify that the person that's filing the tax return is them, right? That's the only way for me to know. If you come to me to file your taxes, that's the only way for me to know that, hey, I'm Jim Jones and I wanted to file my taxes. Here's my ID. The other piece of information that they would need will be a copy of your Social Security card. Now, even though it's not mandatory, the whole reason why this is done is because we need to verify that your Social Security is correct, right? So in case we file your tax return and the wrong Social Security number gets put on there, then it's going to fall into the responsibility of the tax preparer. Now, what happens with that is sometimes, even though we know our Social Security by heart, a lot of us do, we might mess up on the number, right? We might switch the 1 and the 2 and say that one first, and then when we put it in and we send the taxes through, then they either get declined or the IRS will send you a letter saying, hey, we received a tax return under this Social Security number, and it just becomes a nightmare, right? Because then you have to prove who you are with the IRS, and it's going to take a long time for you to receive your refund if you are due a refund. The next thing that you want to make sure you have with you is your W-2s or 1099s. Now, I put on here if any, because a 1099 could be 1099 miscellaneous. That means that if you were a contractor and you did, let's say you did a job for your neighbor, right? And the neighbor paid you $2,000 to do that job, to finish their basement or whatever, or a kitchen or whatever it is that you did. And they say, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you a 1099 because I would like to report this on my taxes because I know it will be a tax cut for me. For example, if it's like a property that they invest in, well, they will provide you a 1099 miscellaneous. You want to make sure to report that, even though it'll bring your income up and it might lower your refund, or maybe you'll owe more taxes, or it might even help you increase your refund because you made a little bit of more money. You know, you want to make sure you report it, because if you only report the W-2, what's going to happen is that when the IRS receives your tax return, they're going to say, hey, we received another piece of information that you make additional income. Now, they're not going to tell you that was the one that your neighbor submitted. They're going to make you search for it. So that's why it's very important for you to have all of the income that you made. Income forms is basically ties into the same thing to 1099s and W-2s and things like that. Let's say, for example, if you were unemployed for 6 months and you received unemployment, well, your unemployment actually gets taxed. So depending on how much money you made, you might be able to report that income and say, hey, I got tax on this, and that'll either bring your tax liability down or it might increase your tax refund, you know, however it may be. There's a lot of different scenarios that can happen there. The other thing that you want to make sure is tax credit forms. That basically, I'm going to get this sheet right here. That's going to tie in to pretty much like 1098E. You know, student loan interest that you pay. So let's say, like, if you're a student and you borrowed money, let's say you borrowed $10,000 to be able to go to school the previous year, and you started paying on that, right? You're going to get charged interest. Let's say on $10,000, you paid $1,000 worth of interest that whole year. Well, that's definitely something that you can put on your taxes to help lower your tax liabilities, or, you know, even increase the amount of income, or even get qualified for other credits like the student loan credits and things like that that are available. The American Opportunity Credit, for example. Deductions pretty much ties into the tax credit forms as well, like with the 1098E. But let's say, for example, you have childcare expenses, right? So if your kid goes to a daycare and you make an average of $80,000 a year, as you know, that a tax refund, if you didn't pay much taxes throughout the year, then you're gonna owe money, right? But with those expenses, you'll be able to bring the amount that you owe down, right? Because you'll be able to get a use that as a deduction. 1098T is tuitions paid. So if you went to college and you pay tuition out of your pocket, definitely something that you can deduct on your taxes. 1098 mortgage interest is pretty much your home, right? So if you purchase a home when you own a house, what you want to do is your bank is going to send you a 1098 mortgage interest statement. And on there, you're going to be able to see the amount of interest that you paid for your house and the taxes that you paid on there as well. You know, your tax preparer is definitely going to need that as well. So that way they can put that as a deduction. Charitable donations could be anything where you take clothing or anything like that, or even if you give cash, or even if you donate to your local church. You know, if you're a person that is very religious and you use teething, then that's definitely something that you'll be able to use as a deduction on your taxes, because your church will be able to provide you the paperwork for that as well. Medical expenses, anything that you spend out of pocket. You know, you went to the doctors, you had a lot of co-pays. Unfortunately, you were very sick, you were very ill that year, and you couldn't escape going to the hospital and things like that. That's definitely something that can help you on your taxes. Like I said, there is a lot more to cover, but generically this covers a lot. And you want to make sure that you have those things ready when you go to file your taxes. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment on this video, or you can email me at info@rocketincometax.com. Check out my website as well, rocketincometax.com. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.